Well, we're back again with yet another no fluff analysis, and this time we're going to be talking about the second Gala Dragalia added for the anniversary, running from the 30th of September until the 5th of October UTC. Let's cut the fluff and get straight to it with the first adventurer, the 5-star light staff, Gala Zena, the unwavering Auspex. We're seeing some adventurers with some funky abilities, so we'll start with that first. Gala Zena's first ability is Hallowed Auspex, which grants Zena an Auspex gauge, filling when Zena uses either her first or second skills. When filled, Zena gains the Twilight Moon effect, granting her a unique 5-level Force Strike. When fully charged, Zena's Force Strike hits 5 times for 5000% damage in total. The effect does not stack and is consumed upon use. Gala Zena's first skill is Glorious Sanctuary, which restores hit points to all teammates, creates a healing zone, and has the new standard 15% 60-second team-wide strength buff. The healing zone is triggered by entering with a unit with less than full hit points and will trigger a heal and a regen. In co-op, each player can enter and activate the zone once. Creating new zones will replace older ones. This is also shareable for 5 Skillshare points. Gala Zena's second skill is Holy Crown, which deals 5 hits of 50% and 5 hits of 350% for a total of 2000% damage to multiple targets and nearby enemies, and also increases Zena's Force Strike charge rate by 30% for 15 seconds. This buff also does not stack. Gala Zena has the standard staff 20% recovery potency co-ability, and her chain co-ability grants light units 13% critical rate at 10 combo and above. Gala Zena's second ability is Sacred Shield, shared with Gala Yuden, which is essentially full poison and curse resist. Gala Zena's final ability is Auspex's Prayer. So Gala Zena gains passive strength equal to her passive hit point bonuses from abilities, which means Dragon Auras and Wyrmprints. The effect diminishes if she loses hit points, scaling linearly to 50% as she decreases to 70% hit points and again to 10% at 1 hit point, but is restored as she is healed. According to dataminers, she also gains an additional 50% scaling as her hit points are raised up to 130% via Inquest skills, but supposedly that's a bit broken at the moment. I'll put a janky Excel chart on screen to show you how it's supposed to work anyhow. So from all of this, I feel like Zena should be a strong slot in for any team as a healer that also has strong offensive capabilities. Her unique combo also makes her play more like a wand that just so happens to heal. Her final ability allows her to have both high hit points and strength. I think it'll make her a fairly strong healer for auto runs of endgame bosses, though auto runs may struggle to make decent use of her healing zone due to how small it is, and I'm not entirely sure how it might work for Expert Tartarus. A big topic of discussion is making the most of her hit point to strength conversion. At the very least, it seems like Thor and Daikokuten could potentially be bad picks for a dragon slot since they synergize pretty poorly with her Force Strike. With Thor, since you're using a skill just before your Force Strike becomes available, you're probably not going to have the energy strength bonus, and then Daikokuten you're likely to lose combo while charging the Force Strike, which might mean that she doesn't also synergize very well with her chain co-ability. Overall, some safe bets include Jan, Liger, and even High Jupiter, who has the added bonus of being farmable. With so much damage loaded into her Force Strike, it might even be worth it to set up Gala Zena with Force Strike oriented Wyrmprints, Grace co-ability, and a Hunter Cerise shared skill. Next on the showcase we have the 5-star Wind Bow, Meene, the Motherly Fairy. Again, we have an adventurer with a funky ability, so we'll start with that first. Meene's first ability is Radiant Butterflies. Meene's standard attacks, Force Strikes, and dash attacks are replaced with Murderous Butterflies. Meene also grants a team-wide life shield equal to 20% of her maximum hit points at the start of quests. Meene's first skill is Fairy Magic, which deals 500% damage to enemies ahead, debuffs their strength by 20% for 15 seconds, and fires extra shots of 167%, equal to the number of butterflies on the field. At 6 or more butterflies, the extra shots also debuff the enemy defense by 10% for 15 seconds. Neither of the debuffs stack. Meene's second skill is Butterfly Kiss, which deals 1000% damage to a target and nearby enemies, as well as additional hits of 167% damage at the location of Meene's butterflies. Again, at 6 or more butterflies, the additional damage may inflict poison. Meene's co-ability is a standard bow skill haste co-ability, and her chain co-ability is the first, Wind Combo Time. Meene also has full bog resist and flurry devastation. So her playstyle is pretty unique. Her butterflies linger on the field and continue to do damage, being consumed when she uses her skills. You may occasionally want to delay your skills by a few seconds to get the 6 butterfly effect, utilizing the bonus effects. From having played her myself, her combo appears to have 4 attacks with 3 butterflies from her final attack, while her 4th strike also releases 3 butterflies. Knowing this, you may want to lead into every skill with a full combo into 4th strike before casting it. One thing I've noticed having played her is that her slow travelling attacks may throw off your skill timing, as the delay between SP gains and tapping for her attacks can be pretty large depending on your distance from your target. With regards to her efficacy, however, she seems to be a decent partner for Leaf, synergizing with his debuffed Punisher, and I've managed to actually clear both Master High Mercury and Expert Cielo with her, though that High Mercury clear may or may not have been me just getting carried by my viewers on Twitch. Finally on the showcase, we had the 5-star Wind Dragon, Midgardsormr Zero, the Primal Stormbearer. His skill is Primal Tempest, dealing 2688% over 20 hits to nearby enemies and permanently debuffing their wind resist by 10%. This debuff does not stack. Midgardsormr's abilities grant wind units 35% hit points and strength, and the second ability is 70% flurry skill, increasing skill damage by 70% at 15 combo or higher. So flurry skill is an interesting ability. Versus Vayu, the flurry skill being active or not dictates whether or not Vayu is actually a better dragon. So in situations where you're using skills before flurry is active, such as skill prep Hawk, Vayu is the better choice. For a character like Meene, who wants to set up her butterflies before using skills, Midgardsormr Zero could quite often work out to be better. Vayu versus Midgardsormr Zero will have to be evaluated on an adventurer-by-adventurer basis, and might even boil down to skill prep and whether or not keeping flurry before using skills is realistic. Having used Midgardsormr Zero myself, he kinda suffers from periods of forced downtime. For example, Cielo's Mist Veil will force you to drop your combo, as well as Whirlpools in High Mercury potentially making positioning and uptime a bit awkward. Alongside the latest raid event, we also have a new Welfare 5-star Light Blade, Mordecai, the Innocent Being. Mordecai's skill 1 is Immaculate Wings, which deals a single hit of 1710% damage to enemies in a line, debuffing their strength by 10% for 10 seconds. The debuff does not stack. Mordecai's second skill is Blade Release, dealing 3 hits of 781% damage to enemies directly ahead, with 1.5% Punisher against debuffed enemies, meaning each hit deals 1171.5%. Mordecai has the standard Blade, Strength co-ability, and his Chain co-ability grants light units 6% shadow resist at 80% hit points or above. Mordecai's first ability is Elemental Res, which reduces elementally attuned damage by 15%. He also has 100% curse resist, and his final ability is Immaculate Shield. Using Mordecai's S1 grants him a 1-use shield for 20% of his maximum hit points. Again, welfare units, there's not too much to be said about them. They're always really good for the raid, now with the changes to raid bonuses, and with his non-paralysis reliant damage, I think it'd be a decent slot in, not the best of the best, but I think he could work in any team. While not part of the showcase, we also have some Wyrmprints added, the first of which is the 5-star Wyrmprint Guardian of the Bond. It has a dragon damage affinity, and its ability is Dragon Scales, granting scaling defense for the remainder of the quest with each shapeshift up to 3 times. So being a defensive print makes it hard to try and justify over all the offensively oriented dragon affinity prints we have at the moment. Maybe it could see some use if you're trying to stay alive and carry some people through some endgame content, but I guess ending the content faster is just another way of doing that. A 4-star print added is To My Dear Child, which has no affinity but has 15% stunned Punisher. I think a stunned Punisher print has come up before, and again, I don't think stun really has enough uptime in any fight to make this worth using over another Punisher print. Finally, a 4-star print, Blessed Days. It has no affinity, but has debuff skill time. It increases duration of bleeding and strength or defense debuff skills by 14%. So this is pretty curious. For shorter debuffs, this adds a second or two at most, and for stuff like bleed, I think this might add maybe an extra tick to each application. This might need some more intense number crunching, and you'd also have to consider whether or not it's worth it to trade out another print for this. Anyway, that is about it for Gala Zena's showcase. I personally poured for all of them. I think Gala Zena is, as with all Gala units, is universally powerful in any sort of content, but being a healer with offensive capabilities I think makes her especially good for auto content. I think Meene is pretty weird, but unique and fun to play in terms of playstyle, and finally Midgardsormr Zero, is better than Vayu in some situations, but I don't think it's worth sort of breaking the bank for if you'd like to save. Like for example, the Ilia showcase has just been announced for about 4 days time after this showcase ends, and is also going to be a prize showcase, so the decision is yours. As always, I'm not your boss, do what you want. If you wanted to pull for waifu, then you would have already done it, as, well, people who pull for waifus I don't imagine are the target audience of these videos. More recently, I've set up a streaming schedule, and I'm going to try and start streaming on Twitch every Wednesday and Saturday, 9:30 PM, British summertime. The schedule is going to be in the description, and hopefully I'll see you guys there. As always, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, stay safe, and I wish you luck in your upcoming polls.